How are you, students? I hope you're good and amazing. So, today we'll be focusing on tropism. What is tropism? Tropism is a plant responding to a certain stimulus or stimuli. Stimuli is just plural, and stimulus is just singular. So, the plant is responding to a certain stimulus. So, a plant could either respond to light, gravity, or water. So when a plant is responding to light, we say that it's phototropic, right? That's phototropism. So it's responding towards light. Or when a plant is responding towards gravity, we say that a plant is geotropic, right? That's geotropism. So a plant is responding to the stimulus of gravity. And when a plant is responding to water, we say that it's hydrotropic. That's hydrotropism. So it's responding to water. I hope that was clear. So let's focus today on phototropism. What is phototropism? Phototropism is just the movement of the plant towards the light. So the plant itself is responding to light. So it means that the plant is bending towards light, right? And which hormone causes this movement towards light? And that hormone is called auxins, right? Remember, I'm just going to refresh your mind in terms of the functions of auxins. So, the function of auxin is that they bring about cell elongation, right? Cell elongation. And also, they trigger the division of the sperm or cell division in the sperm, rather, right? So, it means that they influence the length of the stem. Okay. So how does a plant ends up responding or bending towards light? Okay. So this happens when a plant is exposed to unilateral light. So unilateral light, it means that it's light coming from one side, right? And remember, auxins are sensitive to light. So when a plant or when a stem, right, gets light from one side, it means that the auxins will run away from the light, right? And they'll move to the darker side. So it means that the auxins, let me just draw it. It means that the auxins will move to the darker side, to this side, because auxins are sensitive to light. So they'll move to the darker side. Okay, remember, what's the function of auxins? The functions, the function rather of auxin is to bring about growth or cell elongation, right? So let me just explain this. So when an auxin or auxins are produced, they are produced at the tip of the stem. We call the tip of the stem an apical bud. So this tip of the stem, we call it what? An apical bud. Okay, let me just try to write that neatly. We call it an apical bud. Let me try to write that neatly. Okay, what's happening? Okay, let me just fix that. Okay. Yeah, we call it what? An apical bud. Apical bud, right? Okay. So we call that an apical bud. So the tip of the stem is called what? An apical bud, right? So that's where the auxins are produced. And when auxins are exposed to sunlight all around, they are distributed evenly, right? And they move downwards. So auxins, what's the direction of auxins? They move downwards. If they're exposed, if a stem is exposed to light all around, right? Or light from all sides. The stem is receiving light from all sides. So it means that the auxins will move down evenly, right? And they will influence the stem to grow going up, right? So the stem will grow going up. So let me just show this. So you have your stem here. So this is a stem, right? So let's say the stem is exposed to, let me draw that correctly. So let's say, let me choose this color. Okay, let me do this. So what is this doing? Okay, let's do this. Okay, so let's say now the stem is exposed to light from all sides, right? So it's receiving light from all sides. So all sides, right? They're hitting at the stem, right? And remember, auxins are produced here at the tip, right? The place at which we call an apical bud. So it means that the auxins will go down evenly, will be distributed going down evenly, right? Evenly, influencing the stem to grow going upwards. So it means that the stem will grow evenly going upwards, right? I hope that is clear and you can see my drawings, right? And you can get the idea from that. Okay. So what happens when a plant or when a stem is exposed to unilateral light? So when a stem is exposed to unilateral light, it means that the auxins will run away to the darker side. So this side, right? In particular, this side. So they'll run away this side, right? Remember, and auxins, they stimulate the growth of the stem. So it means that the darker side or the side that is concentrated with auxins will grow faster than the side that does not have auxins, or the lighter side, or the side that's exposed to light, which would lead to a stem bending towards light, right? Because the darker side now is growing, right? The darker side is growing more than the lighter side. So it will cause the stem to bend towards the light. Does that make sense? I hope that makes a lot of sense, right? So that's phototropism. So phototropism is just when a plant bends and responds to light. So it bends towards the light. So when plants or when a stem bends towards light, we say that it's positively phototropic. So a stem is positively phototropic. Okay, I hope that makes a lot of sense. Okay, let me repeat that. So what did we say? We said that auxins are produced at the stem, right? At the tip of the stem, rather. And what do we call the tip of the stem? We call the tip of the stem an apical bud, right? That's where auxins are produced. And what's the function of auxins? The function of auxins is to trigger cell elongation. So it brings about cell elongation and also cell division. So it influences the length of the stem, right? And we said that when the stem is exposed to light from all sides, or it receives light, right, from all sides, right, or it's exposed to light all around, right, all around it. So it's receiving sunlight on all sides. Does that make sense? So it's receiving light on all sides. So it means that the auxins will be distributed evenly, right? So they'll move from the apical bud and they'll be distributed evenly going down, right? Evenly going down. And when they go down, they will influence the stem to grow going upwards, right? To grow going upwards. But when the stem is exposed to unilateral light, unilateral means that they're exposed to light from one side, right? From one side. So when they're exposed to light from one side, right, like this diagram here, it means that the auxins, they will run away from the sunlight because they are sensitive to sunlight, right? So they'll go to the darker side. So when they go to the darker side, it means that they'll cause the darker side to grow more than the lighter side. So it means that the darker side will grow more than the lighter side. Does that make sense? And that will cause the stem, as you can see in this diagram, that will cause the stem to bend towards light. And what do we call that movement whereby a plant bends towards light, rather? We call it what? Phototropism. So I hope that was helpful. In the next coming video, so from now I'm going to release short videos so that I can also be consistent with your focus time span, right? So that it's easier for you to focus, right? So in the next coming videos, I'll release a video based on geotropism. So thank you guys. I hope this was very, very helpful. Thank you so much.